Hello guys, welcome to the session. We will wait a couple of minutes for others to join. This is an interactive session, so feel free to use your mics throughout the sessions. Yeah, are there any? Is there anybody who is joining for the first time who was not there in the first session? Okay, one raised hand, two. Okay. So what I will do is in the middle of the session, I will share the previous recording and a drive link if you want to go through it. Okay. So last time also we had a session about knowing each other. I am Venugopal Mahajan. I would talk about me later. So would you like to tell me about yourself, why you are doing this course, and what you expect from these sessions? Yeah, you don't need to raise your hands. You can just turn on your mics. Right now it's just us.
Sir, I am Kashinath.
Okay.
I am
Hello,
a
sir.
trainer in National Academy of Construction for
Okay.
personality development. But however, I am interested to because of National Academy of Construction is a specialized in construction management.
Yeah.
I would like to enhance my knowledge for updation, sir,
Yeah.
to share with my trainees.
Okay. Definitely, sir. This course is quite broad, so I hope that would
Thank,
give you complete I mean, more coverage.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I have another raised hand. Mamta Kaushik ji, would you like to add something?
हेलो गुड इवनिंग।
Yeah. Good evening.
मैंने एक्चुअली डिग्री करने के बाद बस अपनी नॉलेज एनहेंस करने के लिए किया था। बाकी क्योंकि अभी मास्टर्स के लिए कुछ सोचा नहीं हुआ है और मैं अभी जॉब कर रही हूँ सीएसआईआर में, तो
Okay.
साइड बाय साइड इसलिए।
या अच्छा लगा। तो CSIR में आपकी प्रोफाइल कंस्ट्रक्शन रिलेटेड ही है?
हाँ जी, सिविल इंजीनियर प्लस इंटीरियर डिजाइनर।
ओके, गुड टू हियर दैट। Okay, so it seems that it's just a bunch of us. I would start the session now. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome once again. I am Venugopal Mahajan, a PhD fellow at IIT Delhi. This session is regarding the course Principles of Construction Management by Professor Sudhir Misra. The contents we will cover is related to week 2 of this course. So about the course, this course, as the name suggests, Principles of Construction Management, the course is quite broad. We won't be going into deep on various topics, but the coverage would be more, as you can see from the week plan itself. In the first week, we discussed a general overview, project organization, and couple of points on equipment management, inventory management, and all. So this is week 2 contents. We will be focusing on estimation of project cost. I think every one of you agrees that we have to focus on project cost, right? We have to manage it, right? Or anybody who feels that we shouldn't give undue focus on project cost. See, let me tell once again. Uh, this is supposed to be problem solving sessions. So whatever problems you faced while doing the assignments, while going through the recorded sessions, or uh, whatever the previous year's assignment or similar problems are, we will be solving those parts, and we will be trying to solve questions similar to exams for the people who are sitting in the exams. And this is a 2 hour long session, so if it's just me talking and talking and talking, it would really be boring for all of you, and especially we won't be able to gain much from these sessions. So, yeah, please feel free to turn on your mics. As we discuss more, the flow of the session would be good, and we would be moving in a better zone itself. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
firstly, now reality sector, real estate and all global competition is coming. So in this global competition environment, cost cutting or project cost to be understood well by the participants. So
Uh,
then only they can contribute well for the effective management of project cost. So it is very much this in this course, the project cost covering is essential, and it is looked by all the organizations, sir. This is very
okay.
much needed.
Okay, sir. Sir, you raised a point of cost cutting. I mean, you focused on this point. Why do you think that we need some cost cutting? Were we overpaying before?
So it is not say one thing earlier, when technology or procurement cost or whatever the inventory cost and all was not looking so much precisely, because of competition is very cutthroat now. It is very much essential to cut the project cost to be in the market, or otherwise tomorrow. And technology is also giving, see anything in the previous session you told malpractices or bribery and all things. So these all are well, when technology was not there, it was might have happened knowingly or unknowingly. Now the situation is different. So now well understood, and being implementation of project cost cutting is essential in my view, sir. And
Uh,
it may agree by all. I hope so.
yeah. So we have got cost cutting as one of the most important uh, phenomena right now that we have to focus on. So we will discuss. Yeah. So, sir, I would request you to do one thing. When we are
Yeah.
going into detailed estimate and rate analysis, do remind me of discussing the cost cutting part again.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Yeah. I have one raised hand. Mamta Kaushik ji, you can just turn on your mic and say.
वो अब मैंने नहीं किया था, विजय करके एक और है, तो मे बी उन्होंने किया था बीच में। मेरा पहले वाला ही है, इंट्रो
Oh,
वाला।
okay, okay. Yeah. Uh, so we will be, what would be the flow of the session is we will be discussing some quick MCQs type questions, and we will be solving some numericals. So hopefully you have got your calculators ready. If not, I mean, the calculations would be easy, so you can do it on your phones also, but you have to do some calculations to help me write all the values, and we can move forward. So, coming to the first question, the centerline method is primarily used for estimating quantities of. What is the centerline method? And are there other methods? Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can repeat the question. Uh, you don't have to raise your hands, you can just turn on your mics and say.
Yes, long wall, short wall method.
Okay, we have got long wall, short wall method. Any other method? Okay, so we will see these methods from numerical. Hopefully, that would make it easier. The center line method is primarily used for estimating quantities of where we can definitely see the center line linear. So it would be linear elements like roads and pipelines. Though we will see that we can also use it for other purposes. Okay, so a numerical to start with. Calculate the quantities of excavation, PCC, brickwork, backfilling, muram filling. So what you have in front of you is some old style plan where uh, your brick wall itself is your load bearing structure. Okay, so what you have got is you have got the plan 20 meter by 45 meter, and you have got some walls. The below ground level, you have got brick wall of 600 and PCC of 10 You have been given the sizes 600 and 900 Sorry, 1 meter for PCC, 600 for brick wall, and 900 depth for brick wall, 100 depth for PCC. And similarly, above ground you have got 300 brick wall, and the plinth level is at 450 and till that level we have filled muram. Uh, do you get the idea of what is happening here? I mean, it is very rudimentary. You don't have even have to think about what is happening. Okay, have you guys got the idea what is happening here, or should I draw it again? See, this session we have to solve numericals because then and only then we'll be delving into concepts such as center line, long wall, short wall, or crossing methods. And this is similar to the problems previous year assignment problem. Okay, anybody who would like to tell me what should be the first step right now? See, if the drawing is not clear, the first step could be to redraw and create a uh, proper drawing first. Yeah, it could also be. Um, okay. See, guys, you will have to talk in this session.
Calculate the center line.
Okay, why? Okay, so let's try to calculate the center line here. What is the center line? How will we calculate? I have given you center to center distance only. Uh, so it would be 45 into 2, right? Uh,
Hello.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so for these two walls, 45 into 2, plus for these four walls actually, center to center would be 20 into 4, right? Plus we have got another one, this one, uh, 30 meter, right? So what is the total center line? Okay, how many of you guys don't know the difference between center line method and log wall short wall method?
Sir, please explain.
Um, okay, yeah. See, guys, one more reason why uh, I can't see your raised hands quickly because I'll be working on PowerPoint. So if you raise your hands, I won't be seeing it. I have to go back to Meet and see. So it's better if you can just turn on your mics and say. I have got a couple of raised hands. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's see centerline method and long wall short wall method first. Okay. So what I would do is I would make a simple structure for right now for you guys. The width is 0.5 meter. The outer dimensions are 10 meter. Okay, edge to edge. I have still got raised hands. Do you want to say something? Do you want to add something? Okay, so if you want to calculate the area here, just by looking at the geometry, how would you say it? If you have to calculate the area of this portion, how would you calculate it? Forget the methods.
Length into breadth.
Yeah, length into breadth and minus the inner area, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is also 10 edge to edge. So it would be 100 minus the area is, this one would be 9, right? 0.5 meter from both sides. 81. Right? I mean, if you have to just calculate by geometry. Do you agree on this part? See why I am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See why I am um, giving you this figure is that once we use the concepts, let's see if we are getting the same area or not. And if not, then we will have to modify our method or we made some mistake. So the first thing let's work with is center line method. Okay. Let me draw another box for you right now. If you have to calculate the center line for these, what would be the center line? Outer edge minus half of width, right? For each side. Like if you have to calculate the center line for this, it would be outer edge minus, as there are two corners, so twice of half of it. See why I am writing it in detail is just so you can imagine it. 10 was your outer edge.
Yes, sir.
Right? Now there were two corners, but if you have to go to the center, you are not reducing the whole width. What are you reducing is half of the width. So half of 0.5. But as you have got two corners for this line, for this you have to reduce it twice. Did you get this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the center line here? You just have to subtract it. Yeah?
9.5.
9.5. Okay.
9.5.
Okay. And the width is 0.5, right?
Yes.
So, uh, so your total center line becomes 9.5 into 4, and your area would become into width 0.5. Agreed? Kindly
Yes,
calculate
sir.
kindly calculate this for me.
19.
19. So now you see what happened in center line method. When we had to calculate the center line, what did we do? Edge to edge distance minus half of width. How many times? Number of corners or number of joints, you can say. So you saw this center line method. Now let's see this with long wall short wall method. So here it seems like it is same on both sides. So how do you actually decide which wall is long and which wall is short? Is there any way to decide or to fix that this will be long wall, this will be short wall
As per dimension, sir.
as per dimension? Okay.
Yes.
Uh, See, it might happen. Yeah, as per dimension, you can go. That is one way to go. But what I would suggest is, no. Okay, as per dimension, let's have something that makes it quite uh, intuitive for you guys. So now you have got this type of shape. As per dimension, this would be your long wall, right?
Yes.
Then what? Which one
Yes,
would be
sir.
your short wall? This one? Which one would be your short wall? This one, or
Yes.
this one? Tell me, as per dimension, you just said. Okay, even after removing two long walls, we have got so many short walls. Which one is the short wall for you? Or are all the remaining walls short walls?
Mhm. No, sir.
Then
No.
okay. So what we would do is, uh, we can assume generally that in our case we would be getting uh, walls perpendicular to each other, right? Parallel and
Yes.
Yes.
perpendicular. So what we would do is, if we fix that, okay, this axis is long wall, then perpendicular to it, we will say it is short wall. So
Okay.
so that means even if this wall is lesser in dimension than this wall, this one will become a long wall and this one will become a short wall.
Short of.
Okay, agreed? Do you guys
Yes.
concur with the
Yes, sir.
convention?
Yes.
Okay. So why I'm telling you this is because when we go back to our original question, we will need this convention. Okay.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so let's come back to the concept of long wall short wall. So let's say we have fixed this is long wall, this is short wall. So what we would do is, for long wall we will take edge to edge. What is the edge to edge distance in this case?
10 meter.
10 meter. And for short wall we would take inner
Inner dimension.
yeah. So what would be inner dimension in this case?
9
9.
meter.
9 meter. Okay. So and into 2 for like both long wall and short wall, into 0.5, again we get 19, right?
Yes.
So but this was quite clear when we had outer dimensions, don't you think so? We had outer dimensions, and what we for inner dimensions we subtracted twice of it. So let's see what's the formula in this case. Uh, when you have been given center line distance, suppose you have been given center to center distance. So for long wall, the length would be center to center distance plus
Half.
what, half of width or full of width?
One full width.
Hmm?
2 into half of width or one full width.
Okay, so we'll go with 2 into half of it, so that gives us the uh, concept of corners, right? We have got two corners,
Yes, sir.
so 2 into half of it for each corner. Similarly, for short wall, it would be C to C minus 2 into half of width. So, are you guys happy with this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's come back to our original question. Help me calculate the center line for this first. Okay, what method do you want to follow? Center line method or a long wall short wall method? Obviously, I mean, we won't be going in. We won't be solving with both methods. Which one do you want to follow? Anybody?
Which one is the easier method, sir?
Sir, ma'am, there is no such thing as easier method. It's just that whichever you
Sir.
feel comfortable with.
Sir, I had. So can I say something?
Yeah, definitely.
Sir, I had read in some of the literature that one of these methods, I don't remember, is called as PWD method. So,
Okay.
what is that method? So we can go by that. So it will be useful. in
Okay.
like-
So just prior to coming to this question, we discussed
Yes.
one objective. The centerline method is primarily used for. So when you see that centerline method is used for linear elements, and when you have got elements like this, PwC generally prefers long wall short wall method, and they say that it is
Okay, sir.
more effective. But if you have got
Okay,
the basics clear, it doesn't matter which method are you using.
Okay, sir.
So so that means we will go on with long wall short wall method, right?
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now which direction, which axis should we take for long wall?
Y
Why?
axis.
Okay. So we will follow the same. Okay.
Why?
Yeah. So this will be our. So all the walls in this direction would be a long wall. So let's calculate. Okay. For this wall, what would be the dimension? Center to center is 45, right? Plus
Point 1.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
the
46.
the size is 0.3.
No.
So center to center
Oh,
is,
sorry.
so one width.
45.3.
Okay, 45.3. And this is into 2 plus, what about this long wall? Center to center is 30, right?
Which one is 30? I'm not clear, sir.
Okay, the one in the middle. Towards the long wall.
Yes, 37.
30.3?
30.3, definitely.
No. 0.3 already calculate is we have taken the 0.3 value, so I think 30 must be the length.
Okay, so now there are some. So for okay, let us come to this wall later. Okay, let's see some short walls before. How many short walls have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And if you just have to take the inner dimension you shouldn't have any, what I can say, any objection over the sizes, right?
Yeah.
So we can just take them as uh, it is 20 meters center to center. So 20 minus 0.3, 19.7. 19.7 into 4.
Into 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Now what happens to this wall that I have highlighted? Help me solve this. We have already gone through the concepts, right? If we have to add, if we have to subtract. Yeah.
सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है
Yeah.
कोई अगर वॉल का शेप सपोज भी शेप होता है तो उसको कैसे कैलकुलेट करेगा? जैसे कोई भी वॉल अगर परपेंडिकुलर होता है तो लॉन्ग वॉल शॉर्ट वॉल मेथड हम लोग यूज करता है। भी शेप कोई भी अलग से कोई भी एंगल में है
Yeah.
उस टाइम हम लोग एस्टिमेट कैसे करेगा?
Sir, it's very easy to shift to center line method. Long wall, short wall भी कर सकते हैं, but we need n axis to simplify the concept. Just that's it.
अगर कोई भी एंगल में रहेगा तो सेंटर लाइन बेटर रहेगा।
Yeah, I mean you don't have to calculate the corners and all.
ओके
Okay, I will draw it out for you. Let's suppose this is the angle, right? Now what happens is if you take center line method, okay, let me make it, let me give it some depth. Okay, so if you take center to center, some of the area here would be covered, some area from here it would come. Then for the edges, you know what corrections to make, and the overlap here would be taken care of by center line method.
ओके सर
Yeah. Uh, okay. This is the first numerical, and we have spent a lot of time. So I would just ask you one. I would just ask you one question. Do you think the center line would be same at each level? We have got PCC. We have got
It is not
brick 1
necessary.
and brick 2. Yeah. Do you think the center line would be same at each level?
It's not necessary. The upper level we can there will be we can modify the thickness as per the requirement. We can, there will be a thickness variation in the above level.
Okay. Yeah, see, the definition we got was the mathematical formulation we have used is the width at that point, right? So
Yeah.
if we are talking about PCC, you would see that uh, the width is different. So individual calculations of long wall and short wall would be different, but the sum would be same.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we haven't come to this part. How do you resolve this wall? Is it a long wall? Is it a short wall? How many corners are there? Anybody? Any guess? We will work on from there.
Sir, we will take the total length towards the in the y-axis, and we can subtract the one full length of the short wall in the x-axis.
Oh, one full length of short wall or one full width?
One full width, sorry.
Okay, so center to center would give you this, but if you just subtract one full width, you would be coming to this only. Still, there is a large overlap here. See, why I'm stressing on this point is that whenever you perform long wall short wall method, do not jump that we did did right now. We were we were working on long wall and then directly we went to short wall, right? Before completing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. See, this is this method is chosen by CPLUD because it is convenient. So do not do this kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
So in this direction we have got this one wall. Center to center is 30. plus 0.3, right? Yeah. Now come to short walls. So for these two short walls, uh, okay. Now come to short walls. As you can see, for this one short wall, it is quite clear. This one S1 is equal to, how much is it?
18.7, 0.3 or 0.6, 19.4.
Center to center distance is 20. The width is 0.3 here. If we are taking, we are going with 0.3, right? Guys, why is there confusion in long wall short wall method? I mean, we just discussed that it is supposed to be more effective. Okay, so let it be. For S1, you have got 20 minus 0.3,
Into
right? And now coming to this one, S2. S2, you will see that there are how many corners now?
S2.
You have got one
3
half width here, and a full
3
length here,
corners.
full width. Yeah.
right? So for S2, what would be your length now?
19.4.
19.4. Is it the same for S3? This one?
Yes.
And same for
Yes.
S4, right?
Yes.
So, uh, so total short word would be how much? This comes out to be 77.9,
Yeah, sir.
and this one 45 and 30. How much does it come out to be? 75.6. Okay. So you can say that long wall need not be the longer sum. Okay. So you have got the total wall length now. Do you guys agree on this? See, what would happen is that if you were calculating at the excavation level, how much do you have to excavate? You would have to excavate 100 mm, 1000 mm for BCC plus 200 mm on each side to leave some working space. So that gives you width of 1.4 meter. Now can you calculate all these quantities? For excavation, PCC, brickwork, backfilling, can you calculate? Okay. So I'll just write. For excavation, we have got length is equal to 153.5 meter. We have got breadth is equal to 1000 plus, okay, 1 meter plus 0.2 into 2, 1.4 meter. What about the depth? We have got depth is equal to 900 plus 100, 1000 mm, 1 meter. So can you get the volume here? Similarly, PCC and brickwork. So for PCC, we have got L is equal to 153.5, B is equal to 1, and D is equal to 0.1. Brickwork. For first, it is 600 mm, right? L would be same, B would be 0.6, and D would be zero point 0.9. For second, uh, B would become zero point 0.3 and D would become 0.45. Right? Then we have got what? Backfilling. That would be V1 minus, if this is your V2, this is your V3, this is your V4. So V1 minus V2 plus V3. What about Muram filling? Anybody? Just this one part. Okay, let me ask you again. Is the length calculation clear to you guys, or should we repeat it?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so Muram filling. How would you calculate it? It is again volume, right? 450 mm depth, you have to fill above ground level. It's simple. Surface area and volume question. How do you calculate it?
L into B into H.
Okay, you can directly, what you can do is, one way is you divide it into areas, and for each area you calculate the inner dimension and multiply it by depth, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we will move on with this. Okay, so now coming to estimates. What is the primary purpose of a preliminary estimate? To provide accurate breakdown of projects. It cannot be accurate. To finalize project specification. We are talking about cost, not specs. And what to finalize here? To assess potential project feasibility and set an initial budget range.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. To prepare detailed construction drawing. So which one?
C.
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 Okay. Which of the following methods is often used for preliminary estimates? We just saw that it is quite approximate method. So is it QTO or parametric estimating or unit cost estimating or detailed quantity survey? Okay, you can say that it cannot be QTO or detailed quantity survey, right? What about parametric estimating?
Parametric or unit cost.
Okay, which one is it?
Unit cost estimates.
Okay. What is parametric estimating? Or what is parametric?
Sir, it is as per the we consider a parameter and like historical building is there. Estimates are there of that building. In that we choose one particular item of work, and what is its rate in that building, we compare with it like that.
Okay. So let me give you an example right now. Uh, there is one school project that had 30 classrooms, and it cost, let's say, 3 cr. Similarly, so if you want to make a school of 20 classrooms, what would be the cost? From previous data, you know that 30 classroom school cost you 3 cr. So what would be the cost for 20 classrooms school?
2 crore.
2 cr.
Why?
Sir, as per linear consideration.
Okay, so what if I told you that there were 8 washrooms There were two libraries. Now, what do you think? Now, can you calculate the cost for 20 classroom school?
No, sir.
Why not?
The parameter has changed, sir.
Okay, see that's what I wanted to stress upon. The parameters have not changed. What happened is that when you are talking about making a school, you are not worried about how many washrooms or how many libraries are there, right? You are worried about
Yes,
how many classrooms are there. If you are talking about hostels, you are worried about how many beds should be there.
yes.
If you're talking about a road, you would be worried about the number of lanes
Traffic
and the
volume.
length of road, right?
Yes.
You won't be
Yeah.
worried about the number of bus stops or number of outlets, number of
Data
pylons. Yeah,
sufficient.
yeah. You were saying something. So in case of preliminary estimate and parametric estimating, what we are doing is we are fixing one parameter as deciding one, and calculating with that. So we know that in schools, classrooms matter,
Data insufficient.
washrooms and libraries not so much. So for 20 classroom, you can quote 22 CR, but what is the range of your estimate? That is a big question now, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's see. What is the typical accuracy of a preliminary estimate? A, B, C, or D?
Accuracy.
Yeah,
Accuracy range.
B.
B. That's what I heard,
Preliminary
right?
estimate.
Okay. For
No.
5 to 10%, you will see that this range is even in your detailed estimate. So your preliminary estimates are more in the range of 20 to 30%. If we are going by 50 to 60%, that is like too much for us, and 90%, then it's God's wish now. Okay, so again a similar question. Calculate the approx cost of a 300 bed hospital if the cost is rupees 2 lakh per bed. Quick, I mean
We
it's
can't calculate quantity based on this factor, data.
okay. See, this is an approximate estimate. Okay, if you can't calculate with this data, what else do you need? What else? What other data do you need?
Hospital mean hospital means various elements will be there, and the function we should know what is the functions, or then how many story structure or structure detail we need.
Okay, structural detail you
No,
need.
approximate cost is asked, so we can work out.
Yeah, I mean this is supposed to be approximate cost, and
Yes.
so let's discuss on the points ma'am raised. Okay, so what is happening is that uh, let's say you have a 10 bed hospital. Okay, uh,
Yes.
let it cost be 10 bed. You can easily have it in a building, so 15 lakh. Okay, uh, or
Yes.
even lesser you can work it out with. But as soon as you start increasing the size, let's say 200 bed hospital, now you will see that the structural components have come in. It is multi-speciality. Your other facilities such as maybe plumbing or oxygen
Lift
supply,
required.
right?
Yeah.
Your safety requirements, your emergency exits, especially exits, they have increased. But when this, so for 200 bed hospital, you have got some cost, let's say X. Now, when you are increasing it to uh, 300 or 250 bed, it would be quite similar, right? With the increase in number of beds, the things would be increasing proportionately, you can say. But
Yes.
you
Yes.
can't use the 200 bed value to calculate a 1500 bed hospital cost,
Yes.
right? So this is one thing that when you're talking about parametric estimating, it has to be
Mhm.
in the range. I mean, they have to be comparable. Like if you have to calculate the house construction cost, let's suppose a hostel in IIT Delhi and a bungalow just outside IIT Delhi in South Delhi, you won't be taking the same parameters, right? Same plinth area rate.
Yeah, it will
Yes, sir.
differ.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll keep this in mind. So you can say that it is parametric estimating and unit cost estimating too. Yeah. So what would be the answer here? 300 into 2, right?
Six.
Okay.
Sir, could
Yeah.
you please? Uh, so can I ask a question?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So in the previous question, what will be the like? How can we differentiate between the unit cost estimating and parametric estimating?
Uh,
Briefly, if you want to differentiate, because they both are like similar kind of natures.
yeah. See, what the only thing that has changed is the when you are talking about unit cost estimating,
Yes,
you are fixing some parameter and working with it. In parametric
yes,
estimating, you are also doing the same, but
yes.
parametric gives you some leeway that right now we had linear parameter, right? One parameter, one
Right.
value.
Yes, sir.
In parametric, you can have multiple parameters varying and giving you the value.
Yes, sir.
See, parametric is just that you have fixed set of parameters, and if you change the value of these parameters, your final value will change, your output will change. So
Okay.
parametric is the, what you can say, the background for unit cost.
No, okay. Okay. So you mean that unit cost is a much more deeper concept, somewhat deeper concept than parametric.
No, parametric is the deeper concept.
Parametric is the deeper concept.
Yeah, like what the examples we discussed are basically unit costs.
Yes.
We didn't go into multiple parameters, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. uh, so coming to the part, plinth area. What does plinth area refer in the context of building construction?
The total built-up area of the building at the ground level.
Okay, at the ground level, definitely. I mean, or something
Yes,
else.
C is the answer.
C is correct.
Okay, so you all
C
agree.
is correct.
Yeah, let's move on. What is included in plinth area calculation as per Indian standards? See, you guys just answered the question on definition of plinth area. So what all is included and what is not?
B.
Okay, so enclosed and habitable interior spaces,
Is
definitely.
included.
Thickness of the outer walls,
All included.
included. Interior walls and
Yes, sir.
partition, yeah,
Included.
included. What about open spaces and voids around the building?
Around the
D
building.
is
Okay, D is not
So it is
included.
not included. Not included.
Okay, so why I'm stressing on these MCQs is that we will be delving into plinth area based calculations. Two numericals are on that, so two MCQs right now. Why is the plinth area important in construction? You know what is
C.
yeah, yeah.
C is the answer. Yeah.
Okay, it is not commenting on structural stability,
C.
not
C
defining
is
the.
correct.
C is correct. What about which of the
C is
following
correct.
is okay?
It affects the construction cost estimation.
Which of the following is not an importance of plinth area? You just answered the important
B.
parts. Which one?
B.
B. We have got one thing.
No, no, no. Sir, taxation.
C.
Taxation, not
C.
expression.
Uh,
Okay, we have got one C. What else?
D.
D is also not important.
Uh, to
So I think
calculate.
it is a spatial planning within the building because Limthera is fixed.
Uh, okay, so let's discuss.
Or determining height. Maybe confusing. Sir.
Okay,
So,
So let's see. What is the plinth area? Plinth area, you would say that it is the area, built up area
Total
on the
built
ground
up
floor,
area. Yes.
right? That's how you defined it. I'm not commenting on it. Okay, so see, this was supposed to be when you go only for the definition of plinth area. Okay, uh, guys, you understand Hindi, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what is plinth called in Hindi? Or plinth area, plinth height called in Hindi?
Right.
General
Yes,
trivia.
it
I
is.
mean,
It is, sir.
any guesses? Just guess.
I knew, but not remembering the exact word.
Okay, okay. Any guess? Any random would work right now.
Um,
Okay, so
Jameen?
yeah,
no, no, no.
kursi. You know what we call chair in Hindi?
Kursi.
Yeah, uh,
Kursi, sir.
yeah. So coming to this part, okay. By the like we saw that if it is a 100 SQM, another example 100 SQM or 1000 SQM plinth
Hmm.
area, you can determine that what all things can you fit in 100 SQM, right? That if it is
Yes.
in this zone, you would be saying okay, it might lie very below in types, and 1000 SQM means it is of higher type bungalow ratings, right?
Yes.
So from that itself, you get an idea of, excuse me, you get
Yes.
an idea of what could be the planning. So yeah, it gives you an idea about the spatial planning.
Okay.
Not exactly, but it gives you an idea. It is the starting point.
Yes.
uh, okay, so now coming to taxation calculations. Yeah, definitely when you have got building bylaws, they make sure the calculations are based on your plinth area.
Yes.
Okay, determining height of the building, we saw that it is okay, it doesn't give you this part. Compliance with building codes and regulations,
Yes, it is.
yeah, it is there. Okay, so now coming to another
Sir,
yeah,
sorry to disturb,
yeah,
sir.
please feel free to use your mics.
Sir, I wanted a bit clarification on option A, spatial planning within the building.
uh, okay, spatial planning within the building. So let's do one thing. um, we will move on to plinth area rates by I mean CPWD for Delhi circle, and in that case I will show you from the booklet itself. Will it be helpful?
Sir, fine.
Okay, so now we are coming to one concept that I like: floor area ratio. Anybody who is not familiar with floor area ratio?
It is same as FSI, no, sir?
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, you can
Right,
say that.
that's FSI and FAI both are same.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
so was it so what is this?
Built up by total
So,
plot area.
Option C.
Okay, that is option C, I agree, but why is it there?
so it is for restricting the number of stories what we have to construct.
Okay, why do you need to restrict the number of stories?
Because, sir, as per the development plan by the town planning department, we need to, as per the demand of the area, or as per the nature of the area what we are, where we are building the structure, there are some rules and regulations related to that. So we have to bind with that, and because of that only
Yeah.
different areas coming under.
Okay, so who? I mean, the town planning department, the municipality divided your town into multiple areas, and for each area they gave different FAR, different FSI, right?
Yes, sir.
Why so? I mean, why does it matter that in one area you can't have more than 3 floors, and in other you can have high-rise buildings, 10 floors, it's 10, 12 floors.
Depends on the surroundings. Suppose if the airport is close by, they will not allow you to construct more than certain height.
Okay, so that gives you the restriction on height, but it is not related to urban planning, right?
Yeah.
So, what I mean, what is this part? Urban planning and zoning.
So by the number of floors, we can also determine the number of people living in that area.
Okay, and why does it matter how many people are living in that area?
Population density.
Okay,
Density.
population density. What is its relation with urban planning? See, you
All
have
types
been.
of demands we can calculate, like water demand and supplies of any demands we can calculate with that.
Okay. Uh, and so now, see, what you have done is you have solved the problem by breaking it down into smaller chunks. And I really like this method. Okay, so as you can see that FAR will govern the total built up area. Total built up area, more the built up area, more number of people. More number of people means municipality has to provide more facilities, and this will be in terms of water supply, sewage, roads, each and everything. So if the area where you are planning to build does not even have proper infrastructure to support more population, definitely your FAR or FSI would be low. But if it is in the new area zones where municipality has planned that okay, we can allow higher population density, and they have new infrastructure supporting higher populations, you will have better FAR FSI. Okay,
Yes.
so now this question, simply to sum this up, what is the purpose of regulating FAR? We just discussed it. Okay.
E, B,
To control
D.
B.
the density and intensity of development.
Okay. One thing, density and intensity. Anything else?
To limit the number of buildings in given area.
Limit the number of buildings. Does it really limit the number of buildings?
Uh,
No.
no, sir. No. Not limit the number of buildings.
Okay. So what else? To determine architectural style? No, I don't think so.
No.
To allocate parking spaces.
Uh, does it
Maybe.
take care of parking spaces?
Sir, to promote efficient land use.
Yeah. So it would be to control density and intensity of development, and this finally leads to efficient land use. Okay. So now coming to a simpler question. Prepare an approximate estimate of a building project with total plinth area of 1200 square feet. You have been given PAR. So cost of the building would be 1200 into 1000, right?
12 lakhs.
Yeah. What about the cost of amenities now? I think you can just sum it up, right? For services, how much we have got? 7.5, 7.5, 15, 16, 21, and 25, right? 25% of COB, so this becomes 4 lakh, 3 lakh, sorry. So total cost?
12 plus 5.
Hmm?
12 plus 3, 12 plus 3, 15.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you have got a numerical in front of you. We just solved it in 30 seconds or 1 minute. You can say. Are you guys happy?
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Yes, sir.
okay. Do you face this kind of questions in your real life? Okay, how many of you are not civil engineers?
Yes.
Okay, anybody who is not a civil engineer? Uh, okay, so everybody is a civil engineer here or in allied field. So what you can say is that this is the kind of situation that you face quite common while talking. That somebody has a plot of 30 by 50s and wants to build a house. So they're like, okay, how much will it cost? And if you know these
Yes.
values, it it would just take you what 1 minute to give him answer or less than that. Okay, if let's try to solve this. Okay, so 30 by 50. Now you know that he wants to build a two-story house, and FAR in this region you can say okay 1.5. So you can say that his total built up would be 30 into 50 into 1.5, right? So
Mm.
2250. What about the building cost? So you can say that okay, structural cost would be 1200, and given the amenities that he can have, let's say 300 for this, right?
Mm.
So 1500. So you can directly give the total cost to that person is 2250 into 1500, like 37 lakh. Yeah, and
So pardon, sir.
yeah,
So what is the 300?
300 the other services cost. Like let's suppose that if that person doesn't want much interiors, or he would be happy with
Mm-hmm.
basic amenities only.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so in that case you can go by okay that
Yes.
25% of your building cost is the amenities that cost. So in a minute or so you can give the estimate to that person, and you already know
Estimate. Mm.
that the range of this
Yes.
estimate is 20 to 30%, right?
Right.
So you don't have to worry about being wrong or something, but definitely that makes sure that yeah, you are a civil engineer. Okay, I don't know if anybody of you found it funny. So
Mhm.
coming to some data driven part, what is the primary benefit of incorporating 5D BIM in construction projects? What is BIM? What is 5D
Okay.
BIM? Anybody who is not familiar with BIM?
So,
Yeah.
integration of IoT
Wait,
devices for real-time monitoring.
Uh,
A, C, D is the answer.
okay, I have got A, C, D, and D. Okay, how many? I have got a couple of raised hands about no, people not familiar with BIM, right?
C is also correct.
So you
Greater focus on 3D.
uh,
3D.
okay. So let me first discuss about what BIM is. I will give you the definition, but before that, let's have a story. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am not liking it. Let it be this one. Okay, what is this? What did I just draw?
It's a plan view. It's a table and
D is
chart.
Okay, what I have got. Yeah, do keep on telling me. What is this? I heard a plan view, right? Then I got table and chair, right? What else?
A big building and a small building plan outline of the.
Okay,
A
big build.
T-beam.
Yeah, what else? Just go on. A beer mug, right?
no, it's not like this.
Huh?
Uh,
What else?
T-beam.
Hmm?
T-beam. T-beam.
Okay, T beam. Okay, any other guesses? Could it be just two blocks side by
Sir,
side,
that
or
yes,
Legos?
that's that judges use for order. That is also used.
Okay, hammer. Yeah.
Misra handle.
Huh? What else?
Make and frying, make
Uh, can you please repeat?
bakes and
Okay. So what? So what you guys right now did is that you had a model in front of you, right? And from however you could see it, and whatever angle you saw it, you could see different shapes, different things: a hammer, a plan view, table and chair, bada bhai, chota bhai, anything, right? But what if the same thing happens when an architect sends a drawing to somebody else? You would say that okay, if architect is sending a drawing, the another person must be competent enough to read the drawing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What if he is not? What if he assumes different thing, or what if he uses different symbols? Will it create some trouble?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is happening is that you have got building model. It can be 2D, it can be 3D. This I part which comes in information. So what if the model itself can tell you that okay, I am the first part of hammer? Will you believe it?
If I visualize, it would be better. I mean, are able to see the 3D. That would be
Okay.
better.
Even if you are not able to see the 3D and you select the model, and the if you select this element and it says okay, I am a table and chair, will you believe it? Let's say that this model comes with the information that it is a table and a chair.
No,
Then
dimensions or geometry is missing.
okay. No, my point is very simple here, very specific. You don't have to use your okay. You have got a handful of options here, 7 8 options. But if I gave you this model and this part itself could tell you that okay, I am a beer mug, would you have gone through
Yes,
other
sir.
options?
No.
No, sir.
No.
Right. This is the very basic concept behind building information modeling. That the model itself contains the information so that there is no ambiguity. The information is there so that it can be interpreted in the same manner by everybody. Okay.
Even by layman.
Yeah. I won't say layman, but yeah. I have got one raised hand,
Okay, sir.
couple of raised hands. Guys, you can just turn on your mics and say. Okay, so now coming to the definition of BIM, digital representation of what? All the characteristics of the facility, what it is, a shared knowledge resource. Like right, we talked about now that it should be it should give you the information,
Yes, sir.
what it is. Then for for why should it give you the information? For decision making, reliable basis for decision making. For how long? For the complete life cycle of the project. Life cycle means cradle to grave or cradle to cradle, existing from earliest conception to demolition. Then what else can be there? Everybody is looking at the same single federated model. So architectural part, structural part, MEP, and other design related disciplines into a single coordinated digital model. Okay, then if you have a single coordinated digital model, what happens? You have got interdisciplinary collaboration, and that leads to efficient project
Efficient.
management. Okay, so this is the theoretical definition covering all the aspects of BIM. It would be in your slides. Now coming to this question, 5D BIM. So 5D means we have got 3D BIM, that is the three-dimensional model, plus time, that gives your 4D BIM, and cost is your 5D BIM. Okay, all you need to remember is that when you have got a BIM model talking about QTO or cost, it is your 5D BIM model. Okay, So, okay, it's 5D. So we are talking about cost. So it improves cost estimation part, right? Not 3D modeling, not integration, and no enhancement of architectural design. Happy with this part?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So now coming to a big question. Prepare a preliminary estimate of a G plus 6 building using CPWD PAR 2023. What is this? What am I talking about here? CPWD PAR. How many of you are familiar with this? Or, I mean, okay, negation is good here. So, how many of you are not familiar with this? Okay. Uh, okay. So, let's see what this CPWD PAR looks like. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, kursi kshetra dare, kursi. I talked about it. So what you have here is that all the rates that were given to you in your question, the values that 1,000 square feet is the rate for cost of the building, and all the other values 7.5, 7.5, 5, 1. So where do you get these values if you don't have prior data? This one source is CPWD PAR. It is based on these rates are specific to Delhi Circle and valid on that date. So you can modify it according to your region and according to the time. Okay. So
Yes.
as yeah, so you can see that rates are given for per square meter. All you have to do is you have to fit in the values and multiply it. What you have got is 1.0 is your building cost. Building cost consists of your structures, your foundation, basement floor, some systems like firefighting, fire alarm, stilt portion. 2.0 is your services. Now, how do you calculate the services? Percentages are given, but what part should be taken in these percentage? It says that percentage of building cost. We will see it in detail. Then 3.0 is your lift. You guys can follow this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cost of lift. Uh, then okay, you are providing some tanks. Then the development of the site. So what it gives you is it gives you the reference values. All you have to do is you have to multiply it. Even nowadays you will get for these were before also diesel generate. I mean generator sets and UPS. Now you will get it for solar panels also, solar water heating, CCTVs for the buildings,
CCTV.
as well as for the whole residential colony, home security for residential colony. So all you need to do is whatever services you are looking for, you just multiply it and you will get the values. Okay, what else is there? Yeah, then one thing I left it for you guys there at that time, right? That we will discuss is when we are discussing plinth area rates. You remember spatial planning?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is happening is that when you fix some plinth area specific, and it falls into different types. As you can see here, uh, for residential building, suppose it falls into type 2 quarters. So for type 2 quarters, you can say that okay, what would be the type of door, and if you want to go into spatial planning, what would be the size of other facilities, what would be the number of bathrooms, washrooms, or what should be the size of domestic help area, should it be there or not. So you see, just by dividing your plinth area into different categories, all these planning items are handed over to you, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
this can be a starting point. Okay. Uh, so now let's try to solve a numerical based on this.
Sir, is this also called schedule of rates?
No. See, right now we are discussing preliminary estimates only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, we will come to schedule of rates also. So now you have to calculate uh, G plus 6 building. Uh, you have to prepare a preliminary estimate. What other data do you need from me? Or is this sufficient for you guys? You just
G
went
plus.
through. Huh? What other data do you need?
The previous year data.
Okay, I mean, you are already provided with PAR. So, what data related to building do you need? Or can we just go and multiply?
No.
So, is there anything you
So,
need? Yeah.
what is the means dimensioning of the height, rooms, height of the building?
Okay.
Detailed plan we need.
Detailed plan. Ma'am, if we are having detailed plan, then we need not talk about preliminary estimate, right? We can just go
Yeah.
into QTO. So, what else? One thing we.
Location is required. Location. Where
Okay,
is the location?
location. So, let's say the location is Delhi. What
Cost.
cost? You have got PAR for cost. I am talking about requirements related to the building. What else do you need? We just saw that even for calculating using PAR, you need so many things, right? You saw so many heads there.
Yes.
Okay.
Population, sir. Population.
Population,
Means
one thing.
number of people residing in that
Uh,
particular building.
okay, this is just the building, the construction even has not even started. The contractor just.
Amenities to be provided.
Okay, amenities to be provided. So we will see what all we need step by step. Okay, so you have got GF 1200 SQM. What about
Yes.
number of floors? G plus 6, that means you can say 7, right?
Yes.
Till now. So your total built up area would be
So,
7 into 1200, right? Uh, so let's move forward with this data. Let's see how much we can calculate. So coming to the cost of building, first part, it is a RCC framed structure. Let's say, okay, I'll just mark down the uh, assumptions with a star. Okay, RCC framed structure. Floor height is 3 meter, as you can say for residential buildings. You don't get the option of 3.6 here. For 3 meters, you have got 23530. What will you multiply it with? Ground floor area or total built up area? Okay, this is.
Floor height.
Huh? Okay, now coming to the next part, we don't need to go into extras. Basement floor, yeah, let's say we are providing basement floor with the same height. Okay, so let's calculate the cost for first part. Uh, okay, this is again going to be the fastest finger first round. I'll give you the values, making it on. So building cost 1.1.2, that would be 8400 into 23530 and 1.4.1. Now basement floor, you don't need to multiply it for every uh, every floor, right? Only for the ground floor. 23610. So what is the total building cost?
₹22 crore.
Okay. Uh, 2260 lakh. Will this work?
Yes, sir. Sir, one thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Sir, in that clause, it is in 1.1, you can see that it is up to 6 stories, it is saying, but ours is 7. No? So, do we need to have some different calculation?
Uh, yeah. So if we uh, see, there are two conventions, right? If you're talking about
Yes.
G plus, if we are including, if you're counting the ground floor or not. So let's
Hmm.
say we are discounting it. So for the additional story, what they have asked is you have to. Can you read the clause for extra? Just a minute, I missed the tab. Yeah,
So, clause means only it is written RCC frame structure in bracket up to 6 stories.
yeah. So
And
for the additional one story, you have to make the correction.
okay,
Yeah. And why do you need to make the correction? Why do you need to make the correction?
because as height will be increasing, sir, the carpet area goes on like,
No, carpet area we already talked about. No,
Oh,
complete.
same.
I mean, other costs are increasing, but material transportation cost, your
yes, yes, yes,
foundation needs to be strengthened, right?
yes, sir.
So for that, what you have to do is uh, for one floor 120, and where do you add this 120? You add into the basic cost, this cost. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So right now I'm discounting it. Similarly,
Okay,
what
okay,
happens is
fine.
that you initially also the contractor may plan that, okay, what if I want to increase one story at the later stage, right?
Okay, sir.
So foundation has to be done beforehand. So this gives you the
Yes.
value that if you want to increase one additional floor, add this to your basic building cost.
Add this to your basic. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Now coming to the services part, the total we had here is 2260, right?
yes.
So what all do you have to provide for, let's say we are building quarters for internal water supply and sanitation, electrical, yeah, we would be providing all these, right? What is the total percent? I mean, 9 and 5, 14, 15.25, the 27.75, 31.75, 33.75, right? Is it correct?
Yes, sir, right.
Okay, so how much is this?
$762.75.
762. So let's make it 763 lakh. Okay,
Yes.
this is your services cost. Now moving forward, lift. Do you want to install it?
Sir,
Yes, sir,
definitely.
definitely.
Okay, so uh, let's choose a big lift so that everybody is happy. So let's say for 13 passengers, this one speed is also good, G plus 5. We have got the cost, and as we have got one extra story, so you have to add this cost. Okay, so we chose this lift. We don't need bad lifts, right? Or some goods lift. And how many lifts do you want to provide? One or two?
Sixth floor is one will be okay.
Okay.
Residential.
So this is 3.0. 1 into 21.55 lakh plus 1.22, right? Uh, have I copied exactly?
20.
So let's have it at 23 lakh. Okay. Now what about water tanks?
Water.
See, there is I mean, a lot of population. We have got a large built-up area. So how many people
Yes.
would be residing in it? Can you have an idea?
Sixth floor.
Hmm?
1,200 square feet of 6 stories.
Yeah.
So six, ideally like 4 people per floor.
Yeah.
That is 4 into 7.
Okay. So let's break it
So
down.
it's square meter, no?
Yeah, it's a square meter. So let's say you have got 8400 SQM, right? Then for normally what you would see is that 100 SQM for 5 people or 4 people. F- let's say it is high society, so 1000 SQM for 4 people. So
100.
100 SQM, yeah. So how many are you getting now? 4 into 84, right?
84 people.
Hmm?
4 into 84. Yes.
Yeah. How much?
336.
Okay. 336 is that. So let's make it 350.
Yes.
Now for 350, how much water do you need?
350.
So that is 350 at least 200 liters per day per person.
Okay, higher society, so we are getting 200 LPD, right?
Yes, sir.
So that would, how much will it make?
350 into 200.
70,000.
Okay, so 70,000 liters.
Yes, sir.
Let's say we are just storing for one day, or what would be the factor of safety here?
1.8 times.
One
What is
point.
the maximum?
Okay, so do you want to go max or?
Yes, sir. Max. Actually, we'll store for the maximum.
Okay, so let's say 7 into 1.8. Happy with this?
Yes, sir.
Uh, so let's keep it at 13,000 liters. Okay. So now can you calculate the cost of tanks? Let's say you have overhead tanks for the whole uh, for 13,000 kiloliters, and underground sum for 25% or 20% itself.
So,
Yeah. So what is the cost now?
Overhead
pardon, sir?
tanks. It is 29 lakhs 90,000.
Okay, and overall?
Just a second. And sir, that is 25%, sir.
Yeah, 20%.
So 35 lakh 88,000.
Okay, so let it be 36 lakh, right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
what about the development of the site? Can you calculate it? Do you have enough information? First question.
No, sir, not mentioned.
No.
Because all you know is the ground floor area. You don't even know the plot size, right?
Yes, sir.
So you don't have the structural drawing or detailed drawing as ma'am asked. Then what to do in that case? It is just preliminary estimate, right? So you have been
Yes.
provided with some values. Okay. Let's say we have got a compact site consisting a single huge area building, 4.5% of building cost. It was 2260, right?
Yes.
Sir.
So how much does it become? Let's say 100 lakh, right? That is your development cost.
Yes.
Okay, so what is your total building cost now? 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0. 5 is 100, 4 was 36, 3 was 23, 763, and 2260. What is the total cost now?
3182.
Okay, 3182 lakh. Anybody who is unhappy with this calculation or who got bored? See, right now in this,
63.
yeah, in this single exercise, what you did is you didn't delve into many things. You didn't have to scratch your heads, and definitely you can quote that, okay, if this is your project, your cost would be somewhere around 32 crores plus minus 20%. Okay, so
Okay.
now coming to the detailed estimate side. Detailed estimates are conducted. When are they conducted? Initial planning stage, no. Project specifications are
Mm.
less defined. You can't go into detail with less, right? Historical data
Yes.
is unavailable. It is an
When
estimate.
project plans and specifications are more different.
Okay,
D is correct.
okay. What is the primary purpose of a detailed estimate? Primary, that means there are supposed to be secondary purposes.
Yeah, D is correct.
Hmm?
D.
D.
Which one? B, D, Bombay or Delhi?
D. D for Delhi.
Okay.
Oh, sir, D is correct.
See, potential project
No,
feasibility
sir.
and initial budget range you can get by preliminary estimate also, right?
Sir,
You
D is
Sir.
correct to guide project execution and contract negotiation.
okay? Yeah. So
Oh,
what are
sir.
the secondary purposes? Which of the following is not a purpose of a detailed estimate?
Option D. D for Delhi. Assess the potential project feasibility.
Okay. Uh, you tell me,
Yes.
does it help you to secure funding for the project?
Mm,
Maybe, sir, actually, like
yes,
we'll be
sir.
having the life cycle, how it runs. So we might get the plan how to secure the funds.
So
Uh,
because sir, as per the DPR, then we can have also the funders in that. Means for
uh,
investors, we can, as
okay.
per the type of project it is.
Yeah. I am writing two acronyms here. AS and TS. Anybody would like to elaborate on this?
Andhra State, Telangana State.
Okay. Yeah, that is one way to look at it. But let's bring it to estimates part.
Administrative sanction, technical sanction.
Okay. Yeah, we can work with that, right? So we have got administrative sanction. and technical sanction. So
Technical
you will
sanction.
find that technical sanction usually is followed by your detailed estimate or DPR,
Detailed estimate. Yes.
and admin sanction is by your preliminary
Preliminary.
estimates. Okay.
Yes.
So now coming to a detailed estimate question. Uh, how many of you guys are okay? Anybody who doesn't like the QTO process or making the estimates part of this whole being a civil engineer?
So I get confused somewhat.
Okay. Yeah. So we will discuss this part. Um, yeah.
Sir,
Yes. Are you saying something?
yes, sir. Sir, I'm still doing my engineering, so in this semester I'll be getting the estimation part. Sir, do you have any tips before I'm introduced to this part?
Uh, okay. Tips for estimation.
So any
Oh,
pre-tip before like
yeah.
introduction to the
So there are like whole two part, which is similar to surveying. Okay. Wherever you go for estimating, you move from bigger portions to smaller portions. Then keep check of units. Okay. Like if something is supposed to be in SQM, you calculate it in SQM. If it is supposed to be running meter, you calculate it in running meter. And there is one more thing that is not discussed in detail, that is significant digits. Anybody who is working want to add another thing that should be kept in mind while working with detailed estimates? I mean, on the very
Uh,
general basic side.
Reading of drawings,
Okay.
proper reading of drawings.
Yeah, that's for time and by coming from whole to part. Like you read the complete section first and then
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, one more important thing for estimating or quantity takeoff is imagination.
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, you have to be able to imagine what actually is there. Sir, if we have got 3D models, do we really need more imagination then?
3D models, like at least we need to read the 3D models, sir.
Okay. Um,
So as he is sir doing B civil, so at that level we definitely need because we're like having
yeah.
only 2D plans.
So,
And we'll only be working with pen and paper in
Yeah,
the curriculum.
yeah. So that. Um, okay. Uh, yeah, before moving into this question, this is quite very important. Okay, anybody who has questions related to assignments? I just saw a
so only
message.
first assignment given, sir. Next second. Acha, first assignment, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
second?
See, uh, is the submission date for second assignment over?
So tomorrow is the last date. I have to give today.
Okay. This is one restriction on me from the NPTEL side, that if the assignment submission due date is not over, I cannot discuss that part.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So if for assignment number one, I can definitely discuss it. For assignment number two, you guys will have to wait till the next session.
Yes,
And this is not from my side.
yes, yes. Right.
Okay. So now coming to this question. Okay, we have got people who have worked here, worked and definitely made some, yeah, definitely made some estimates. So tell me what should be our first step, or what other information do you need? Guys, try to make this quick. Otherwise, the session will get extended. I am happy with that part. Not many of you would be.
Fixing of level, we need to know, sir, what level we are doing the pavement.
Okay. Let me just reiterate the question that you are in charge of a construction project comprising of a paved jogging track. You have to make a jogging track. Total length is 200
Mm.
meter and width is given 1.5 meter. And you are engineer, so no other information has been provided to you. Uh,
Uh,
so what else
we,
do you
uh,
need?
the- so we need the soil conditions. What are they? First of all, geotechnical, like
Okay.
soil strata condition.
Okay, soil conditions. So let me tell you that it is an existing park, and in the park itself, you
Yes.
have to make a jogging track around the boundary.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Any other information that you need? Quick.
Mm.
Elevation.
Uh, Elevation. Okay. You need to be just
Stop.
around the park level. Okay, around the existing level.
Gradient.
What else?
Gradient. Slope.
Gradient. You can just follow what the park. The park is quite level.
And sir, there are no any turnings and all those things. It's
Uh,
nothing straight track.
Gradient level park. What about turnings, sir? What? Why do you need turning? Okay.
Not turning in the case in sense of like it is a straight or like
Okay. You can say that it is rectangular with
rectangular. Okay.
yeah, rectangular with curved. Okay, rectangular. Let's keep it to that. Anything else?
Rectangular. Mm. Mm.
Okay.
The quality of the paver block.
Quality of the paper block. You are the engineer. You decide, or I will give it to you.
Okay.
Cost.
Okay.
Okay.
So you quality of the paper block, right? Paper
Mm.
block.
Mm.
You use CC block of M35 grade
Yes.
and 60 mm. Okay, 60 thick. What else?
Mm. Yes.
Cost of brick.
Cost I would provide you with schedule of rates. Okay.
And sir, what is the deadline timeline of that project?
Timeline, it's your community park. So before the next big function or whenever before New Year, you have to complete it because people take New Year resolutions now that they will walk around the park, they will lose some weight.
Contractors profit, sir,
Contractors profit. Let's say you are the contractor, so I would give you 20.
10%,
No, I would give you 15%.
15%.
Okay. What else?
Labor fund.
Contingencies.
Contingency 15% is good enough for you, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Labors.
Labor. What do you need in the on the labor side from me?
Laying charges per square feet.
Okay,
Square
laying
meter.
charges. So you need cost. So for cost, what I would do is I would provide you with schedule of rates. What else?
Yes, it will be item rate. Okay.
Okay, you have to make a detailed estimate
Yes, sir.
uh, and item rate. Okay. So what does this mean by item rate?
So as per the schedule of as per the SOR, whatever are the rates of the particular item of work we need to perform,
Okay.
we need to execute.
Okay, okay. You just said whatever the works we need to perform, right?
Unit
Item
rate
of
into
works.
quantity.
So tell me what are the works that we need to perform? Only then you can
So,
multiply it, na?
yes, site cleaning and excavation.
Okay, cleaning and excavation. Excavation till what? How much depth?
As you said, ground, so it may be like half to 1 feet.
Okay.
150 mm.
Uh, okay, 150 mm. What else? What works do we need to perform?
Then,
Will provide
firstly, sand
maintain
filling,
the correct leveling.
Hmm?
sand filling,
Okay, sand filling. Sand filling for what?
sand filling, like, sir, because if you are directly placing the mortar on that, PCC on that, or laying directly, so that water from the mortar can seep out to the
Uh,
ground.
okay, so can instead of sand filling, can we have granular subbase?
Pardon, sir?
Can we have GSB here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. More prefer. Yes.
Okay, what else do we need to do?
Mm,
What else?
discussion, GST.
Before granular base, like providing the PCC, and then
Sir, PCC would be on the soil or on the GSB?
On the GSB.
So PCC would come after this, right?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
We can lay, sir, lay the blocks.
Okay, lay the blocks.
Laying of blocks with the mortar, like a cement paste. What?
Uh, okay, let's say you want to lay the paver, laying of paver 1 is to 3 cement
Yes, sir.
mortar.
Cement mortar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, um, see, right now for making this path, you all guys imagined something, right? Visualize
Yes.
something,
Yes, sir.
huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, did you imagine the curb stones? I mean, if you just see the jogging track in your park or the paved surfaces,
No, no, not imagine. Yes, sir. Right.
you know that there is a curb stone, right?
Yeah.
On
Yes, sir.
both
Yes,
sides.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is another tidbit for you guys that whenever you are doing such kind of thing, it's good to have
Mm-hmm.
drawing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you had the
Okay, sir.
drawing, you could have said that okay, this is supposed to be my 1.5 meter cross section. So I would have GSB here after clearing, right?
Yes.
Then I would have some PCC.
Mm,
After this, what? I have to place curb stones also.
curb stone.
So I would be placing curb stones. Uh, just a minute. Then, but curb stones would be fixed in in cement concrete, right? Here, some mortar
Yes,
has
sir.
to be there. Then for
Yes.
laying the pavers, you know that for laying the pavers there has to be some sand base here,
Yes.
and
Yes,
then
sir.
you have got interlocking pavers.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Now you know the thickness that okay paver is 60 mm. Let's say your sand is 50 mm. What about PCC? 1 inch would do, right?
Yes.
So 30 mm. What about GSB? 10 centimeter, 15 centimeter.
10 centimeter would also do, sir.
Okay, so 100 mm GSB. So does this give you? And what about your curb size? Curb stone? Let's say 150 mm high, 150 mm each side.
Yes, sir.
150
Yes.
mm this width and 150 mm its height, or 200 mm,
250.
150 mm. So now can you calculate how much do you have to excavate, if you need to excavate to bring it to ground level here or to keep it above ground level? See, just making the drawing gave you a lot of values, right? Okay, I'll give you a couple of, I mean, 30-second break just to see what we drew.
Of course.
Hmm?
370 mm.
60, 50, 30, how much and 100? How much is this?
60.
40 mm.
240, right? And 240,
Yes, sir.
so let's say we have got 80 centimeter, 80 mm above ground floor, above floor level. So that means 140 mm, right? No,
320.
no, sorry. This top level is 80 mm above your existing ground level, or
80 mm above.
yeah, or let's say 100 mm above. That it makes a separate step for everybody, right?
Mm.
Then it is 140 mm.
Yeah. So 140 mm is your excavation depth.
Mm.
So now, do you have a lot of information to calculate the quantities? All you need now is the rates, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And where do you get the rates? You get it from schedule of rates, Delhi schedule of rates of CPWD. How many of you guys are not familiar with that? Okay. So everybody is familiar. Excuse me. Everybody is familiar. Let's see. Now I have got a couple of items in front of you. Earthwork, not existing 30 centimeter in depth, right? We are getting 140 mm only. So you
Yes.
have got rate of earthwork. What about laying curb stone? You have got the rate of curb stone. What about cement concrete paver for M35
Yes.
grade, right? 60 mm thick and 50 mm sand, right? You have
Mm.
got the rates. Right now, I haven't written the rate of GSB and uh, PCC, right?
Yes.
But similarly, you can find out the rates of these items also, right? What
Yes.
you can see is that, why is it called item rate? When you, let's say you are talking about the top layer, pavers. If you go into detail in 16.9, just 9.1, you read it. What all things are there? Providing and laying, so that you, the carriage charges are also include. What kind of CC paver block? Chamfered, so that for what purpose? Footpath, parks.
Footpath.
Yeah. Required strength and size, so you have got a strength and size here. Then how were they made? Were they handmade, hand molded? No, made by table vibratory method using PU mold. Okay. Fair.
Mm.
What would be this sand bed? 50 mm, well compacted, so that you don't have to pay extra for compacting, right?
Yes.
uh, and how do you have to compact it? Vibratory compactor by using plate vibrator.
Yes.
So as you can see that it is the complete process for one item. It is not like I am just buying the pavers or I am just placing it. It is complete. Why is it complete? So that at the end there are no additional items.
Mm.
Okay, let me give you an example. uh, I ask you that okay, I have my flat on the ground floor. Can you make a door? Can you make a boundary wall and door here? Right. So you say, okay, kindly give me the DPR or item rate or whatever you want to include. So if I am addressing the conditions and I say, okay, you bring one door to me and that's it. So what will you do is you will just bring one door to me. You are not going to fix it, right? It is not in the conditions.
Mm-hmm.
It might be implied. I mean, if I am asking you to bring the door, I am asking you to place it. Otherwise, it is no use to me.
It should be clearly mentioned.
Yeah, if it is not clearly mentioned, so what you will do is, okay, I will say you bring one door to me. You are saying, okay, it will cost 5,000, and I
Mm.
am thinking that in 5,000 you will also fix it. Then after bringing it here, you say my work is done, my contract is fulfilled. If you
Yes.
want it fixed, you pay me more.
Supplying and fixing has to mention, sir.
Yeah, so fixing has to mention, and how do you have to fix it, what other fixtures you have to include on the door, that you will say, okay, I just
Yes.
fixed the door, I didn't attach the latch. Why? Because it was not there, it was not mentioned.
The
Yes.
orders has to mention. All
Yeah,
orders. Ironmongery. Ironmongery.
yeah. So I hope this gives you an idea of why we have got this detailed description of the item.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can just multiply it by the values, right? Excavation
Yes.
SQM, so it would be 1.5 into 200 meters, right? Then curbstone, uh, can you calculate the volume for curbstone?
Yes, sir.
Number of pieces, sir.
No, it is like cubic meter here. The unit is cubic meter.
Into breadth into height, we can calculate the volume of one curbstone.
Okay, so for you will have uh, the cross section of curbstone is 0.15 into 0.15, right? 150 mm to 150 mm. And
Thickness.
what is the
Yes, sir.
length? Length is 200 meters into 2, right? On both sides.
Yes, sir.
Mm. Yes.
So how much is the curve volume now?
9.
2 plus 5.
9 cubic meter? I just have it.
Yes.
Okay. What about the area for pavers? You know that for pavers, the unit is SQM.
200 into 1.5.
Okay. 1.5 or should it be less?
Sir, actually, I
Thickness has to
had
be.
I had that doubt, sir. Actually, will we provide clear 1.5 for the path and extend the curb, or we'll provide curbstones within the 1.5 meter?
Okay. Sir, I have one question for you. How do you see it in the drawing?
Drawing it is like within 1.5 curb is given.
Okay, sir. So then we'll follow the drawing.
Including the carbon.
Yeah, I mean that's why we made the drawing, right? So that we all are
So
on the
that
same
is
page.
200 into 1.2.
Yeah. So it would be into 1.2. How much is it? 240.
Yes.
So you have got all these three values, and similarly you can calculate for GSB and PCC, and you can calculate the total, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is one example of rate analysis.
Yes.
CPWD gave you this rate, okay, 16.91,
Yes.
and you can see that it is very detailed. Each and everything is there, like how do you have to make it, the construction process, the strength, right? It is quite detailed. Then why did it give you the rate analysis also? Last question of the day from my side.
So because we need to add the carting charges, lead charges in there to transport the material.
Okay, see here, the price here quoted is 932.35.
Yes.
The rate analysis also gives you the same. You are not adding anything. Why is it providing you with the rate analysis?
Can be said as a summary of that.
Okay, so it gave you the summary, so it is also giving you the detailed version, right? Like from where did it
If
get the cost?
sir, if the rates fluctuate, we can also change the total cost.
Okay, fluctuation. See here, this is that 15% contractor profit we talked about, right? Contractor profits and
Yes, sir.
overheads. We discussed now 15%. Where was it?
Yes, yes.
Here. So
Contingency.
you can see that it is already included in the cost.
Yes.
Okay, why is it providing you with rate analysis? You got one thing that if the rates fluctuate. See, another thing is that, let's say I tell you that I am not happy with 50 sand bed. Let's make it 75 Now you know that all you need to do is you need to change the you need to change the items related to sand, right? If you need
Yes.
to change the items related to sand, you will get the modified rates, won't you?
Yes, sir.
So one important function of having rate analysis is that for new items that don't yet find their place in SOR, new items not in SOR.
Mm-hmm.
So from the existing rate analysis, you can calculate the rate of new items that will be acceptable to everybody. I mean, if you arbitrarily quote the rate for some item, that person can go to courts, right? You are cheating him.
Yes.
But if you give this rate analysis, he has to accept it. Or if he is not accepting, this actually gives you a strong base. Okay, so this was the last question from my side. Questions from your side?
Sir, on last two thing only I wanted to ask, like, as you said that the item which is not mentioned is SOR, so we can input it into the rate analysis.
Yeah.
But sir, how can we justify that items means how can we justify the rate of that item as because the SOR is prepared by the government departments?
Uh,
So on what basis we can like justify that is the
okay.
prevailing rate? Like,
Uh, Sir, you have seen SORs and they are like quite comprehensive. It is,
yes,
I mean, it might not be that some item is missing. What is happening is that, let's suppose some new technology you are using,
yes,
okay, or the item now codes of new technology and you are using old technology. Let's say in RCC works, they have said that you have to use, um, I mean, you have to use RMC, right?
yes, yes,
But
yes,
you are not using RMC even for M40 grade. You are preparing it on
yes.
site. You are preparing it using traditional mixer.
Mixing.
What will you do then? You can't provide
Mm.
him the rate for RMC, right?
Right.
I mean, as you are the engineer on site in charge of billing, and the person hasn't done with RMC, you accept
Yes,
that in that area RMC cannot be procured.
yes,
Otherwise, you would have forced him to do with RMC because that is in the norms. But in that
yes,
area, RMC cannot be procured, so he has to do with mixer, small mixer. But you cannot pay him for RMC, right? RMC rate.
yes,
So
Sir,
what
if
you
mixed design is approved, we can go with RMC.
yes, sir, that's what I'm saying. Mixed design is approved, but the location where construction is going on, you cannot
RMC is
have
not possible.
you cannot transport
It's the
ready mix
scenario.
concrete.
Yes, yes,
The mixed design is there. You can mix it. You can have it mixed properly on site, but not have transported there.
yes.
In that case, you cannot pay him for RMC, right? You will have to pay for what he did.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can
Yes,
do is that for M10 or I mean M10 grade of concrete, you have got the rates of mixers in that rate analysis. That for 1 cubic meter of concrete, uh,
This is the rate.
this is the
Yes.
rate. This is the hourly production rate. So that
Yes.
part you can modify in your rates for M40 grade concrete, right?
Yes.
This is one example. And as both the things are from the government side, and you if you don't have the what you can say signing
Acha, acha.
power.
Means sir, that presence is already there in the SOR, but the particular work was not having. We just okay, fine, understood.
Yeah, or it could have
Yes.
been modified also. Like suppose you are laying stones, okay, stone,
Hmm.
and SOR says that minimum 25 mm is thick stone you have to use. But you are saying
Yes.
that this work is not that important. I will be happy with 16 mm also. You don't have the rate for 16 mm in SOR,
We have sir.
right?
Yes.
So you can modify it accordingly using rate analysis.
Right. Right.
Okay. Any other question?
सर
No
ये
sir.
सेशन एवरी ट्यूसडे होता है या मतलब डेली बेस पे?
नहीं, every Tuesday, same time, 6 to 8 p.m.
ओके.
One more thing. Uh, do you guys need the link for last session?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
यस सर.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
okay. Give me a moment to copy it for you.
These sessions are very much helpful as for assignments, sir.
Yeah, I mean the main thing here is that assignments should be done well, because uh, and sir, uh, there is one more thing. We have the what I can say. We have the mandate that while taking these sessions, we have to stick to the assignment part. Okay,
Tomorrow is the last date for assignments, sir. Assignment 1 and 2.
yeah,
Tomorrow.
yeah, and this is 8 week course, so the evaluation would be best of 6. Okay, I've got one query here. The answer I am getting are not matching with the options provided. Sir, if the assignment submission date is over, you can discuss it right now, but it is not over. So what we will do is, after submission, you post it on the discussion forum. I will take it to the regular TAs, and if this is the case, that question would be struck off. So you don't have to worry about the evaluation part. The solution part we can discuss it in the next session. And PPT link, just a minute. I shared you the YouTube video. I will be posting all the session recordings on the same channel. If you want, you can follow it there.
So are the assignments best of 6?
Yeah, for 8 week course, it is best of 6.
So for practice purpose, what reference material we can use for that long wall short wall method for just practice?
Okay, just draw any figure.
I have
Okay. Just yeah, I would say just draw any figure on your own, and if you can calculate the calculate the surface area and volume as we used to do it in our schools, now basic method,
Yes.
first principle. So you do it by first principle, you do it by long wall short wall method, and you check the values. Or what I can do is I can explain it to you again if you want.
No, sir, I mean, I was having reference like beyond the book. So can we practice examples from that?
Yeah, any book is good enough.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So no more questions, right? This brings us to the end of this session. Thank you guys. Thank you very much for attending. Hopefully, I will see you in the next sessions also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.